since last week. But just, I mean, people know about this, what you've been saying for, not just in our last interview, but 2 or 3 before that. You voiced your concerns whether the AJ Fury fight would happen this year. And we were dropped a huge bombshell last week where the judge ruled in favour of Deontay Wilder. Not only that, but ruled that he must rematch Tyson Fury for a 3rd time by the given date in, I believe, September. So you seem to have been right all along, Derek.
Yes, I was right. You know, listen, yes, we wanted to see the fight. I would have loved to see the fight. But we're not going to see the fight this year. We might see in December if both fighters come out right. You know, if AJ fights Usyk, wins it, he fights Deontay Wilder, wins it, in December we definitely might see it. You know, but I knew it was going to happen because the law is the law, the contract is a contract. If they break the contract because this is a bigger fight, it suits everybody else, that means everything we do in boxing is crap. So that means the contract I have with everybody, I just be like, no, I terminate that contract, who cares, you know. Well, everybody was all counting all these eggs and say, yes, we're going to make this money, but they forgot one silent person in their contract, Deontay Wilder.
From the relevant people making the fight, there was little noise over the last 2 months. We knew that there was a situation, but I'm not going to say it was overlooked by the relevant people. I'm going to say it wasn't being spoken about. You, every time for the last 2 or 3 months, I was mentioning about not whether the fight was going on, who wins the fight. You were almost reluctant to even answer because you didn't believe that the fight was even happening. But you kept with it and you kept saying it and you kept saying it. So, I don't know, were you more aware of the situation regarding Wilder's arbitration? Were you just using your own common sense? What was making you kind of make those comments so vocally about this ain't happening? The Wilder situation's got to be sorted out first.
If you look at it, when Tyson beat Vladimir, he sat down for about 2 years. He had it was the same contract. He signed the same contract he signed a couple of years ago. And then when he boxed Deontay, he signed the same contract. So Deontay Wilder was not giving him a date. He was just letting him be there and marinate. So he played the other card. He said, okay, you don't give me a date, I'm going to fight AJ now. Yeah. So Tyson already knew he was in court. So he was just playing a possum with AJ, saying, I'm going to fight you, blah, blah. Yes, I spoke to Prince Khalid, the fight's all done, Saudi Arabia, here we come. And then guess what? He knew he was in court. All he wanted to do was get a speed date from the Wilder team, trying to say, you know what? Oh, he's about to sign this big fight deal. Let's no. Let's go to court and let's get the date straight down. Do you understand? And that's how you play the game, boys. You know, AJ.
Wow. Those are the words of Derek Chisora. As Derek Chisora said, I told you so. I was right. Now Coogan has to do whatever, Derek Chisora has to say. And to recap on the counterpunch on this portion of this video. Shouts out to IFL TV, by the way. Derek Chisora, he said something that made a lot of sense that I didn't even think of. And I recently compare how Tyson Fury skipped out on the Vladimir contract and how that went down. But how did it go down? It went down because Tyson Fury decided to drop off the planet. He didn't fight anyone. So he couldn't fight anybody with that contract that Vladimir Klitschko had on him. And what Derek Chisora relayed, that was the same contract. How do we know it was the same one? Because the same person orchestrated that same contract. Who was that? Shelly Finkel. Shelly Finkel was the manager of Vladimir and Wilder. So he knew by experience, if you want a rematch clause, this is how it's going to have to go. You can't do certain things. You can't fight other people. You're going to have to do what we do. We tell you to do. If you don't want to, if you want to retire, retire. But you're not going to fight someone instead of us. And that's what Tyson Fury didn't do. Tyson Fury won that first fight, but the shitstorm of stuff came falling down on him. He had to fight Vladimir. That's why he was doing the behind the gloves or beyond the gloves or whatnot. And all that building up, but he knew that, hey, I wasn't even any kind of shape to fight Vlad. He would have lost to Vlad anyway. Okay, so newsflash, for you diehard Fury fans, he wouldn't have beat Vladimir in the second fight. He wouldn't have. Okay, he wasn't mentally there, and I don't think he meant to fight that guy at that time. But Wilder, he knew he had to fight Wilder because he knew those stipulations from that first contract he signed with Vladimir Klitschko, because it was the same exact one, because Shelley Finkel conducted it and created it. Okay, he made the same clauses for the same people. They were both the A side when they fought. Vlad was the A side when he fought Fury. Deontay Wilder was the A side when he fought Fury. He was a WBC champion at the time. Even though they had a draw, it didn't matter. It made no never mind. So yeah, because Tyson Fury's been there before, he knew that, hey, I'm going to lose this shit. I just want these guys to come up with a date that's going to satisfy me and then build this fight off of Anthony Joshua, the bigger fight. Now, don't get me wrong. He would have went through with it because the money was there. He wanted to know that the money was there in case the arbitration doesn't. But chances are he knew because he's been there. That's why he dropped off the face of the planet, people, for over 3 years. Because he beat Vladimir Klitschko when? Let me see. When did he beat Vlad? When did Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko?
2015. According to TalkSport, the former heavyweight world champion remains a firm rival of the man who dethroned him back in 2015 due to pre-fight trash talk and the fact...
Okay, let's see. Because that's just... I want to know when in 15. So, let's see. We got the boxing record here. That was in November. Okay, so it was 3 years. But he couldn't fight anyone else in those 3 years because that contract was nullified. He had to wait a while. And then by the time he came back, Vlad was already retired. He had fought Joshua in a one hellacious fight. Okay, so, that's something that I wanted to mention about what Derek Chisora said. Let's move on.
He just wanted to fight. He was all geared up. But now, I think you were geared up in the facility. Everyone was all geared up. But don't worry, people. We are going to Saudi in December. I'm telling you. If everything comes out right for these two fighters, December, Christmas.
So, at least there was some shared hope for Derek Chisora saying that they will be there, hopefully, if they both win. That's if Fury can beat Wilder, and then that's if Joshua can beat Usyk. So, there was that. But fair play to Derek Chisora. Good points that he made in this interview. You guys tell me what you think of Derek Chisora predicting, I told you so, that Deontay Wilder would fight Tyson Fury for the third time. Tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.